Hi everyone, I'm Sunny and I have 4 piles you guys can choose from left to right. I have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So remember, if you need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video and then select the pile of your choice when you're ready, or piles of your selection. And in case you just need a refresher of the question, because I might reword this too on the title, I'm not sure. But the question is going to be, what makes you, not necessarily the life of the party, but what makes you stand out? What makes you rememberable? It's not a word. People remember you, or what makes you remarkable, right? When it comes to you being part of a party scene. That doesn't mean you have to party all the time. It just means that when you do go out, what do people, really notice about you? So I will go ahead and start with pile number 1. So you guys have the Empress reversed. So for you guys, I feel that I think you guys you're not standing, I'm not saying that right. You're not sitting down, you're kind of all over the place. I don't think you're someone that's not that you're not elegant. It just feels like you're much more like surface oriented, or someone that's like, do you guys need a drink, or you guys need some food, do you guys have music, do you have this, or like whatever is needed, or do you guys have games? Do you have games? Like, I think you try to make people feel like, not that necessarily they're at home, but that they feel comfortable, so that they get to party and feel like a good time. With you, that's the kind of personality that you're giving in a party scene. I also think that you, pile number 1, you're someone that's a little bit more, not necessarily aggressive, you're just the person who's always taking initiative. Even with, I feel like this Venusian energy reversed, I do feel that you're the person who's much more independent, or like the initiator or the person who like makes these events at your place, right? Or you make sure that you, not necessarily organized meticulously, you just like let people know the time and the place, and then show up, or like bring your own stuff. It just feels like you let people know ahead of time of stuff, so that it's not like a loose cannon, right? So like, just think of it like that, where it's not that you need to be the organizer, you're just someone that lets people know that it's gonna start. So you're remembered like that. You're someone that can be a very charming person, but I think your charming personality comes from how you like to take that initiative to go to people, to help out, to be that person who's always willing to go like that step and beyond to make people comfortable. And I think there's a nice little feminine touch to that, but it's like it's like a masculine feminine, like I think of like a female Aries, where there's a charmingness to their like independence, and like that little streak of that inner fire. I can't describe it quite well, but it's basically like that. Or like even other like fire signs like Leo or Sagittarius, it just has that feminine quality, but it's like a spunky kind of quality. So that's how you are remembered in this type of scene. So thank you, pile number 1. Next, pile number 2, you guys have the Ace of Swords reversed. So for you guys, I feel that when you are someone that's part of the party scene, you're someone that might keep those like not meaner comments that you like, the snarky comments, you know how you have that friend who's like sometimes a little bit more vocal about their opinions. Well, you're someone that's like, well, I don't care about that right now. Like, I'm here to have a good time. I'm not going to start stuff. I feel like you're the kind of person who just wants to, have a few drinks maybe, and just sit down on the couch or sit down in the corner and just kind of not stare off into space, but maybe just enjoy your time of just quietness. I think you're someone that kind of ends up being a person of few words, right? So maybe you are someone that's typically maybe more talkative. In a party scene, you kind of keep things to yourself. You're more remembered by that. It's how maybe you look sullen, or maybe you just look serious, or maybe you might not appear that, or you might just appear normal, or like an RBF face, but you are remembered by the kind of person who just doesn't seem to make a ruckus, right? Not like super energetic. I think you're more composed, but you just kind of, enjoy your time without necessarily bothering people, or like agitating people, or like trying to start chaos by maybe if you get out of hand, you won't start stuff, right? Like you won't go out of your way to be rude or stuff like that. So I do think you tend to be more quieter. And not quiet as in boring, just more, I think you try to hide. I feel that you try to hide that you might be, tipsy, or you might feel a little out of your element. So you're just kind of making yourself look cool, like the cool cat in the corner with this Ace of Swords reversed. So I just feel that you kind of keep more to yourself, but it's not that you won't conversate. It's just that you kind of try to keep it minimal. So you try to like disguise the fact that you are not 100% like very coherent when it comes to conversations, because maybe, who knows, maybe people try to get information out of you when you're trying just to have fun, and you're like, no, I'm okay, thank you, let's talk about work tomorrow. Stuff like that. So thank you, pile number 2. So next is pile number 3. You guys have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and I feel that you don't have an issue, and maybe I should just scoot these up. I didn't realize how far apart I put them out, sorry. But I do feel for this pile, I don't think you have an issue wasting money. And it's interesting, I just want to, like, not that you're like someone that likes to spend, like, I'm a big spender, ha ha ha, let's blow my money, whatever. No, it just feels like you don't have an issue, like, spending for a good occasion when you're going to spend time with people that you like. I think that you work hard for your money, but I just don't think that you're someone that's like hung up on like hoarding. Hoarding is the proper word I wanted to use. Like, you're not hoarding your finances, you're not hoarding your space or even at that. Like, if you want it, like, you want people to come to your house and feel welcome and not feel like, oh, I can't be over there because then I have to, watch out, like they put a coaster on my cup or something, or they like pick on me for, touching items that look bougie and stuff, and like it might break or it's something like that. Like, it's not that people can't do that, right? Some people can, some people can't, but I think more or less who is coming over, so you can trust them and they're not gonna be like crazy like that, irresponsible, and that like, hey, like my place is my place, but you're allowed to have fun, you're not gonna be watched over like a hawk. I think you loosen up in that way. Or maybe you ask people to take off their shoes, or maybe you tell people like something, but you're not so like stuck up on that, on like having a clean, organized house. It just feels like you know who you're inviting, that they won't mess up your place like really bad. They might they might stay over, or and to help you clean, or they might help you clean after the party is done. Like, you know that they're trustworthy people in that way. So I don't think you have an issue spending money. Also, like, not just sharing your space because that's still kind of like a financial thing, but sharing your space, but also sharing your items, right? Your food, your drinks, your cups, like your dishes or your grill, like whatever that may be, or your games or your TV, your karaoke stuff. Like, you don't have an issue sharing that because you're not stingy. I think that you want people to feel comfortable and welcome, but also have a good time and relax and just chill at a place where you feel that you're most comfortable in, which is possibly just your space, right? So maybe you just like that overall vibe because you get more control over yourself. So yeah, I mean, overall this is like a nice little vibe, but I do feel that you're more open when it comes to people, like inviting people over, just being more giving of yourself and of your assets and finances, so that it's an enjoyable time. So that's how people remember you, someone that's always willing to give and like, offer themselves, offer what they can, that's within their reach, right? So thank you, pile number 3 or 4, I forgot, I think it was 3. So next, the last pile number 4 or 5, I forgot, I'll know. So it's just the last pile. You guys have the Tower reversed. So for this pile, people remember you because you might start a bit of a chaos, might start a bit of drama, but it might be internal. Like, I think maybe people pick up on that whenever you go to places. Like, I think people, but it's not like it gets out of hand. I just think that when you are invited to places to have fun and to party, the energy you're giving out is an energy that it feels like it's gonna get wild. Or maybe you're that kind of person who keeps composure, right? You keep composure on your 9 to 5, but that minute you clock out, you're like, I'm good. It's wilding time. So maybe you are a bit of a wild child behind the scenes, or you get out of control, but not like in a crazy out of control. It's more so you have fun. You know how to have fun. You keep the party going. You live it up. I do think that you enjoy that, because if you're going to be cool, calm, and collected, to give up that facade of like, I'm gonna put up a front so that people might not get the wrong idea, but deep down, I really am that person. You could be the person who's always partying every weekend, and when you have a good time with people, like, they realize that you're more loose, more comfortable in like not being so stuck up, in that way. So when they party with you, they pick up on that, like, oh, this person is like, what's that saying? Business in the front, party in the back. So you might give off that energy overall, pound number 4 or 5, where you are someone that keeps it collected, like yeah, this is fine, whatever, like I can, do my priorities first and do my errands and get myself together and, whatever, do what I have to do throughout the day. But then the minute the nighttime comes, you get ready and you go out, and maybe you sorry, my voice is going out. Maybe you hit the bar scene and you go to your favorite restaurant and you hang out with your friends, and then you go out and meet for drinks and you keep going. Or if you don't do that, you go to your friend's place and you stay and, have, grills and karaoke and all this stuff. Like, you keep going and going and going. And I think maybe people might not realize that you have a lot of energy. So maybe that's why either you could be the person who might start, not drama necessarily, but you can start a lot of things because you keep pushing. Or you can also be someone that hides that like inner little party animal, right? So that's how people remember you in a party scene. There's someone that looks very different from what you actually are behind the scenes, right? Someone that they get to know better, and they're like, well, who is this? I thought I was like inviting the shy little nerd, and then suddenly you're like the hot femme fatale or something behind the scenes, and you're like using people, like not using people, but like using them as like your wingmen or wing girls. You're like, no, I got you. Like, you might take more, not alpha, but you take that like direction, right? You take direction, and like you kind of it's like they start being mesmerized by you because your energy is like very magnetic. So maybe you start taking more control of situations like that, where like, what the best place is, all these things, so you just follow your intuition and stuff. But it can be a little bit chaotic for people to kind of go with your flow, because it can be a lot. So maybe it's just because you have a lot of energy, or you like, they just thought it was going to be like a small thing, maybe 2-3 hours, maybe 4, and you go for 8 hours plus. That can be this kind of tower reverse, where it's like a lot of fun, but you go hard. I do think of that. So thank you, pound number 4 or 5. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. It was kind of a quick little reading. So thank you and have a great day.